Lagos was a city full of rich people, poor people, and those in between. But among them was a woman whose wealth confused many, Vanessa, also known as Madame V. She had everything: expensive cars, a mansion, and designer clothes. Yet nobody knew what she did for a living. People gossiped about her wealth. Some said she was a fraudster, while others believed she had sugar daddies. But the truth was worse than anyone could imagine. Vanessa's secret was dark. She had a powerful spiritual father who gave her instructions. Each time she slept with a man, she had to wipe his semen with a white handkerchief. She would then take it to the herbalist, who used it for rituals that increased her wealth. The men she used for the rituals suffered greatly. Some lost their jobs, others became very sick, and a few even died mysteriously. But Vanessa didn't care. All she wanted was more money. She was careful in choosing her victims. She targeted young, ambitious men who were working hard to become successful. She would meet them in clubs, hotels, or on social media. With her beauty and charm, she made them fall for her easily. One night, Vanessa spotted her next target, David. David was a handsome journalist who had just been promoted at his job. He was intelligent, charming, and had a bright future ahead. To Vanessa, he was the perfect victim. At an exclusive club in Lekki, she approached him confidently. She wore a tight black dress that hugged her body, and her perfume was strong enough to make any man weak. "Hello, handsome," she whispered, touching his arm. David turned and smiled. "And who do I have the pleasure of meeting?" "Call me Vanessa," she said with a playful smile. She ordered drinks, and they talked. Vanessa was an expert at making men feel special. David, though interested, was also observant. He had heard stories about women who used men for rituals. But could Vanessa be one of them? She leaned in and whispered, "Let's go somewhere more private." David hesitated, but he was curious. Something about Vanessa didn't feel right. However, he agreed, deciding to go along with her plan. They left the club and headed to a 5-star hotel in Victoria Island. Vanessa thought everything was going as planned. She didn't know that David was smarter than her previous victims. That night would be different. Inside the hotel room, Vanessa played her usual tricks. She laughed at David's jokes, touched his arm, and made him feel comfortable. David observed everything: how she kept looking at her handbag, how she seemed more interested in something else than in their conversation. After they became intimate, Vanessa carefully reached for her bag. David watched as she pulled out a white handkerchief. She was about to wipe him when he suddenly grabbed her wrist. "Why the rush, Vanessa?" His voice was calm but firm. Vanessa's eyes widened. No man had ever stopped her before. David sat up and looked at the handkerchief. "I've heard about women who use this to steal men's destinies," he said, still holding her wrist. "Tell me, Vanessa, what happens after you use that handkerchief?" Vanessa tried to pull away, but David was strong. "Let me go," she screamed. David shook his head. "No, tell me what you do with that handkerchief." For the first time, Vanessa felt fear. She knew she had been caught. David took his phone and hit the record button. "Tell the world what you do, or I take you straight to the police." Vanessa panicked. She had never been caught before. "Please, David, I was forced into this. If I don't take the handkerchief to my spiritual father, I will lose everything." David scoffed. "Then lose everything." Vanessa fell to her knees, begging, "Please don't expose me." But David had already made up his mind. The next morning, a shocking video went viral on social media. Vanessa's face was clear, and in the video she confessed everything. Lagos was in chaos. People were shocked, angry, and disgusted. Vanessa had nowhere to hide. The morning after David exposed Vanessa, Lagos was buzzing with news. Social media was flooded with reactions. People couldn't believe that the beautiful and wealthy Vanessa was nothing more than a dangerous ritualist. The video David recorded had already gained millions of views. Comments poured in from angry men, terrified women, and those who had suspected her but never had proof. "So all this money she's flaunting is from destroying young men's destinies?" I knew something was off about this woman. No visible business, but she kept buying expensive things. God saved me, oh. She once approached me at a club, but I wasn't interested. The revelation sent shockwaves across the city. Many men who had once been involved with Vanessa started piecing things together. They realized that after being with her, their lives took a downward spiral. Some lost their jobs, some fell sick, and others struggled financially without understanding why. Vanessa's phone rang nonstop. Friends, family, and acquaintances were calling, but she ignored them. Her Instagram account was flooded with hateful messages. She tried to delete the video, but it was too late. The internet never forgets. By midday, a large crowd had gathered outside Vanessa's luxurious mansion in Lekki. The gate was locked, but that didn't stop people from shouting and throwing objects at the house. "Come outside, wicked woman," someone yelled. "You ruined so many lives, and now it's your turn to suffer," another voice screamed. Vanessa, trapped inside her house, panicked. She never imagined that her secret would be exposed, and now she was the most hated woman in Lagos. She quickly packed a bag with cash, hoping to escape, but before she could make her move, loud banging echoed through the mansion. The mob had broken through the gate. Fear gripped Vanessa. She ran upstairs and locked herself in a room. From the window, she could see the angry faces of men and women who had been affected by her wickedness. "Come out! You must face justice." Vanessa grabbed her phone and tried to call her spiritual father, the herbalist who gave her the ritual instructions. But his number was unreachable. Her heart pounded. She was all alone. Suddenly, police sirens blared in the distance. The crowd stepped back as several police vans arrived. Armed officers jumped out, dispersing the crowd. An officer knocked on Vanessa's door. "Madam Vanessa, you are under arrest for fraud, spiritual manipulation, and multiple reports of attempted murder." She knew there was no escape. Slowly, she opened the door, her once proud posture now weak and trembling. She was handcuffed and led outside. The moment the crowd saw her, they erupted in anger. "God don't catch you! See her face, after ruining so many lives!" Vanessa kept her head down as officers pushed her into the van. The once respected woman was now reduced to nothing. At the police station, Vanessa sat in the interrogation room. Her makeup was ruined from crying. She could barely recognize herself. A stern-looking officer entered, holding a file. "Vanessa Adebayo," he said, "your crimes have been exposed. We have testimonies from multiple victims. Do you have anything to say?" Vanessa wiped her face. "I was forced into it. I didn't want to do it, but my spiritual father promised me wealth if I followed his instructions." The officer slammed the table. "So you willingly destroyed innocent men just to maintain your expensive lifestyle? You think that's an excuse?" Vanessa sobbed. "I didn't know it would get this bad." The officer shook his head. "Tell us everything. Who is your herbalist? Where does he live?" Vanessa hesitated. She knew that if she revealed the herbalist's location, he would come for her. But what choice did she have? She took a deep breath and spoke. "He stays in a hidden shrine in Ogun State. His name is Baba Karim." The officer nodded and made a note. "We will find him." Meanwhile, David was being celebrated. His boldness in exposing Vanessa had saved many lives. His boss at the news agency was proud. "David, you've done what many journalists only dream of doing," his boss said. "You've exposed a dangerous criminal." David smiled. It was the right thing to do. TV stations invited him for interviews. Many people, especially young men, reached out to thank him for bringing the truth to light. But David wasn't done yet. He knew there were more people like Vanessa out there, and he vowed to continue his mission of exposing evil. With Vanessa in custody, the police launched an investigation. They arrested her workers, her driver, and even some of her closest friends who were suspected of knowing about her secret. The police also froze her bank accounts and seized her properties. Within days, Vanessa went from being one of the wealthiest young women in Lagos to having nothing. Her spiritual father, Baba Karim, was eventually caught. When the police raided his shrine, they found shocking things: bottles containing men's names, human bones, and blood-stained handkerchiefs. When Baba Karim was brought to the station, he showed no remorse. "Foolish girl," he said to Vanessa. "You let a mere journalist bring you down." Vanessa looked at him with hatred. "You promised me wealth. You said I would never be caught." Baba Karim laughed. "And you believed me? You were just another greedy soul." Vanessa broke down in tears. Everything she worked for was gone. The wealth she sacrificed so many lives for had disappeared overnight. During Vanessa's trial, her victims testified against her. Many of them had lost everything because of her rituals. One man, Kunli, stood up in court. I was a successful businessman until I met Vanessa. I lost my company, my home, and almost my life. I want justice." The judge listened carefully and finally gave the verdict. Vanessa Adebayo and Baba Karim, for your crimes against innocent lives, you are both sentenced to life in prison. The courtroom erupted in applause. Justice had been served. As Vanessa was taken away, she realized something. Greed had destroyed her. She had chased wealth the wrong way, and now she had nothing. From that day on, her story became a warning to many. Young men became more careful about the women they met in clubs. The streets of Lagos buzzed with new awareness. No matter how sweet evil looks, it always ends in destruction. And so, the mighty Vanessa, who once lived like a queen, became nothing but a cautionary tale. The story of Vanessa teaches that greed and the pursuit of wealth through evil means may bring temporary riches. But in the end, deceit, wickedness, and exploitation of others will always be exposed, leading to downfall, shame, and irreversible consequences, proving that no wealth gained through dark and dishonest means ever lasts forever. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you for taking the time to watch our story. Your support means the world to us. We hope you enjoyed the twists, turns, and lessons in this tale. If you love this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting and eye-opening stories. Your engagement keeps us motivated to create even better content for you. Stay tuned for more, and remember, every story has a lesson. Thank you, besties.